Welcome back. Hi, this is my bunny. You already know this. But yeah, she's so pretty. And she won't be with me in the entire video because she stinks. Um, because if you don't know, rabbits have different poops, and one of them they have to eat it because it's like vitamin or whatever. She is terrible at it because she's kind of fat. Well, she's not fat, but she's not very smart. So yeah, she kind of stinks with that poop. Also because she ate a lot of salad, so she stinks. No, actually, she smells good, but her butt smells funny. Anyway, she will go on the floor because I know she wants to. She doesn't want to stay today, so she'll go on the floor. I know there's still 1 week left to May, but okay, she has decided to go and hide. Okay, but I really needed to do the book, not the book review, but like my wrap up, my reading wrap up of May because I'm gonna be very busy for the end of the week and I won't have time to finish everything. So let's start this review. Not review, wrap up. Again, it's a wrap up. Ew. Okay, I think the bunny was a little more dirty than I thought. Okay, so I'll start with the audiobooks that I've listened to um this month. And the first audiobook that I have listened to this month was A Thousand A Thousand Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, which is book one in her Firebird series. And that series, you follow Marguerite, a girl who lost her dad. So that's not a spoiler because it's like a very like the first chapter. Her dad dies in an accident, and the person who is the murderer or accused of the murder has disappeared into another reality. So he traveled through dimensions, through a multiverse, and her and someone else, they go and try to catch him into the multiverse. And the way the multiverse kind of works in that universe is all different ways. So like there's a very futuristic New York, or there's like Russia, but if the um Tsar the high rulers back in the day are still a thing, and the character of Marguerite has to go through all those dimensions. And what's cool is that when you go into that dimension, you can only go if you are a thing there. Um, so you have this like they have this like locket thing that they can like if they wear it, they can travel through dimensions. And yeah, it's really cool, but you get like end up in the body of your other dimension self. So what you do while you're in that body can have consequences on their lives, which is very interesting. Um, so yeah, that was the first book, and I gave this 4 stars. There was a scene in the audiobook version that I was like, I don't think this is in the book. Um, the person who read the audiobook, there was like a scene of two people in a bed. Um, and the audiobook reader added moaning. I'm like, okay, we get it. Obviously, they're gonna do that, but did you have to put it in the audiobook? It felt very wrong to me. I do not like that. But yeah, so except for that little scene, the book was really, really good. And since it's a trilogy, it's really good too. I had read them a very long time ago, but I really, really love that book. And I also really like when I was younger, well, when I first read it, I really loved the character of Paul Markov. I think that's his name, right? I think so. Yeah, but I still like him a lot. Um, yeah, he's awesome. I love that character. Um, and then the next book that I read, as an audiobook, I loved it too. It was really good. Um, was this one? Warrior Cats book 3. Currently rereading the Warrior Cats because my friend Emily got me into rereading them. Um, and like it just kind of reminds me also of how when I'm in school with my best friend Jake and all of that, and we were reading them. And I used to read them in French, so the names are strange to me. um, some of them I just remember from French. Um, but yeah, this one, you basically follow um, Fireheart as he's trying to figure out what happened um, about the death of another warrior cat from ThunderClan. No, wait. Yeah, from ThunderClan, also, like Redtail. He has died and he's trying to figure out what happened. And then it gets a little confusing. And then there's like a bit of another cat falling in love with a cat from another tribe, so River Clan, and that causes problems between both clans. And yeah, um, it was really good. Not the best one, honestly, in the series, the main series, but it was still good. It was enjoyable. So I also gave that one 4 stars because yeah, it was just not as um good. But there were a few lines that I really liked that I thought were like hilarious. I'm trying to see because I know I wrote a note about it, and it was just hilarious to me. When there's a fight between two cats and one of them is basically like hurt and everything, and then they're like, "Oh, lick me," because cats like each other too, for different reasons. Um, and then one of the cats is like, "Lick you, useless sack of fur." Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Um, there was another line that I thought was like hilarious. Um, the way he was like, describe, um, instead of saying you're crazy because your cat's living in the woods, um, it's like spiders have spun webs in your brain, which I thought was hilarious. So yeah, it was really good. So 4 stars, definitely. And another book that I have just finished yesterday and that I read as audiobook, which was definitely the best audiobook that I've read this month, was A Parrot of Horribles by Matt Dinniman. So book 8 in Dungeon Crawler Carl. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Um, that book was amazing. I loved every single aspect of it because it reminded me of this um little attraction type thing you can have in malls sometimes where you have this giant screen and 2 seats where the seats move and you got air coming out of like vents next to the screens and water that simulate you traveling through like an AI, not AI generated, but like digital image. And it reminded me of that from a lot of the designs that they had for the races in the book. And I just really, really love that. Um, it was so cool. It was just really good. I also really enjoyed the plot where they're trying to save people because something's happening. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil it. But one of the characters, I was extremely worried that they were gonna end up dying because something happens to that character in the previous book, and I was like, oh my gosh, if that character dies, like in book 8, and they just went through the whole thing from book 7, that would be terrible. Um, but yeah, it was really good. I also love the character Jamal the Shark. He's hilarious. Um, so yeah, definitely book 5. Definitely book 8 of Dungeon Crawl Carl series. Worth reading. The Take On Me scene from Haha, so good. It was hilarious, and also Jeff Hayes definitely needs an Oscar. If he doesn't get an Oscar for performance in these books, there's a problem. Anyway, so 5 stars, and maybe beyond. That's how good it was. And now for the other books that I read, physical copies of. Well, one of them is an ebook because I do not own physical copy, but these are the other books that I've read this month, and one that I'm currently finishing this week, which only have 2 chapters left, which, yeah. So I'll start with the one that I'm currently trying to finish, and that is Tith by Holly Black, which is book 1 in her Modern Fairy Tales. Yeah. I'm rereading this. First time I read it, I really, really loved the character Kay. I hate her. Now I hate her. I cannot stand her at all. But yeah, this is really good, except for Kay. She's very annoying. But yeah, it's basically you following Kay, who finds a Fey knight in the woods, and she helps him out. And then she has the brilliant idea to ask him for his full name, which Fays are not supposed to do, because otherwise people can manipulate them. But yeah, he gets manipulated by her, and just things happen. So yeah, it's good. Obviously, it's not like the best one, but it's still good. Yeah, it's fine. So like for now, I give this 4 stars. Because it's not the best, but still good. And then I have read on a reading vlog thing that I did last weekend. I didn't post it yet, but I need to add it. But I did a reading vlog, and I've read a few books while in that reading vlog, and most of the books I already talked about, I did read in a reading vlog, or a few of them. But one of the books I read is one of my childhood books that I reread because I wanted to reread them years later, because I found them again and I was like, I need to reread them because I'd given them to my cousin and I regretted it. And yes, it's very childish, so it's Barbie. Skipper Yaldina Caesar. So they're very short, and I just really wanted to reread it. And this one was never my favorite growing up, which is still not. There's only 55 pages. But I kind of liked how things didn't go as planned in the book. So you follow Skipper, who is a teenager, and she has to babysit her sister Kelly and Chelsea, which are Barbie's younger sisters. She has to babysit them because Barbie is going to this like 50s party with Ken. And Skipper's like, oh, I can babysit. It's fine. I've done it before, right? So let's go to your party. Everything will be fine. No, not everything is fine, because Chelsea has a friend coming over, and then the popcorn machine explodes because Skipper went to the phone. Kelly went through Barbie's clothes with peanut butter and jelly on her hands. She messed everything up. There's a lot of things happening that could have been avoided if Skipper hadn't been on the phone every 2 seconds. Which, yeah, and miscommunication in that family, like, for what happens in this book. So, it was just weird. So I give it 3 stars because it was not my favorite one in that series. There's better ones in this. So it also was very short, so it doesn't really have much, going on. So yeah, 3 stars. And then the next book I also read in that vlog was Kilmeny of the Orchard by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And this one, when you follow Eric Marshall, who's a teacher who arrives in Prince Edward Island, and he goes to like walk around, and he meets Kilmeny, who is a beautiful girl, but she's also very mysterious. Um, she's got a curious affliction, and there's no cure, and no one knows why. So he tries to figure out what's going on in that. It's really good. So this is also a 5-star. 4-star. Yeah, I gave it a 4-star because people were just calling her stupid, which I explained in the reading vlog why I did not like that. Anyway, so I read this one, also 4 stars, like I said. And then here is the book that I added to a 3 stars, and I'm not gonna keep the book. I also did a review of the book and why I do not like that book. And if you want to watch it, it's very short, and I just explain why I do not like the book. What is the bunny eating? The bunny is eating something. Oh, she's eating the good poop. Okay. Or licking her toes, apparently. Okay. Oh, she just sneezed. Okay, so the book that I read and I did not like was The Choice by Nicholas Sparks. If you want to know why I hated that book, go and watch my other video, the previous one. This was just not good. I mean, I do like the concept and stuff. But like, the Travis guy does things, and I'm like, no, this is weird. So I did not like this book, and I gave it 3 stars because it was enjoyable, but I hated it. So I'm getting rid of it. So yeah, 3 stars. And then I also read another book by Nicholas Sparks that I did not add to the list for some reason because I'm an idiot and I forgot to add it to my list. I'll just put this here and grab the book. And it was Counting Miracles, La Unesse Miracle by Nicholas Sparks. This is one of his most recent books, and I did enjoy all the point of views. Honestly, I prefer the point of view of Jasper, who's a solitary old man who has gone through so many hardships in his life, to a point where he calls himself Job, because what he experienced in life, because he's an older guy, what he experienced in life is pretty much the same hardships and everything that Job has went through. So like losing his family, losing his orchard because he was like had pears, and yeah, losing everyone in life, losing his wife, and yeah, it's really hard for him. And then you have Tanner, who used to be in the military, who's just like looking for family, looking for someone, because his grandmother, before she died, only told him a town, and it's like, you gotta find that town. And it's like the last thing she told him, so he doesn't know much. All he knows is that there's a specific town and the people he's looking for there. So he's looking for his mother, or someone in her family, because both his parents well, he doesn't know his dad, and his mother died, so he's trying to figure it out. And then you got Caitlin, who's a single mother, divorced, with two kids, so a teenager and a little boy of like 10 years old. And when her daughter basically accidentally wrecks Tanner's car, the family meet. So Caitlin and Tanner meet, and then they fall in love, and of course, it's very quick. Their thing, like it's to me, it's too much. Like um, it happens in the beginning because it also has like two point of views, um, but it happens so quickly because like the car gets wrecked, and then Tanner is like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm just gonna drive you back to your house because like your van is like you're shook up. So I'm just gonna drive with the van or the car that you borrowed from your mom. I'm just gonna drive you home." First of all, he's alone in the car with a teenager, and then the mom is like, "What? What the hell? Why did you do that?" And he's like, "Well, it's the only thing that I thought of." And your daughter was like freaking out because she wrecked my car, so I just wanted to help. And she's like, "Okay, that is sus." And then they go through the paperwork and stuff, and then she's just like, "Okay, well, you're here, so I'm gonna drive you back to your hotel because it's the only thing you can do. I mean, you don't have a car. I don't want you to have to pay a Uber at this time of night." And so he's like, "Okay, fine." They arrive at the hotel, and he's like, "Hey, would you go and have a drink with me?" It's like they barely know each other. They've known each other for like 2 minutes at this point, and she's like, "Yeah, sure." Seriously? Really? Like, okay. Um, and then next day, like same evening, he just asks her, "Hey, do you want to have dinner with me tomorrow?" She's like, "I have plans," and he basically invites himself at the plans, and I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, they had to meet to get the story progressing for things to go the way it has to go, but still, that is quick. And I thought it was just a little off. I've been reading these books. He's Nicholas Sparks' books, and some of them I'm like questionable choices. But still, it's a really good one, and I love it. And yeah, there's also like a plot line in this where there's a albinos deer, and he is like um being tracked, and people want to hunt him, and the character Jasper wants to help um save the deer, and it's really really good. It was good. So yeah, highly recommend this one. So I gave it um 4 stars as well. I also reread some books that I have read 4 or 5 years ago that I really really loved. And it was The Caves of Steel by Isaac Asimov. So this is part of his Elijah Bailey and R. Daniel Olival series, which is a police detective, so a plainclothesman. Um, wow, Elijah Bailey. For a second, his name got lost. Um, when a scientist gets murdered, he has to investigate, um, which is a scientist that worked and lived in Spacetown. Spacetown is like outside of like globe cities, so basically people live in giant bubbles, humanity, and some people live outside that, which like normal and fresh air, while other people live in recycled air and stuff. But when someone from there is murdered in that place, um, they think that possibly the person who could have done it was someone from the bubble area. So, um, they think that it's possibly one of them. So he has to investigate who did it with the help of a robot that was assigned to help him out on the case. Which robots in this are androids, and they're like very advanced. Well, not all of them. Some don't look pretty much humanoid, but some are more evolved than the others. Well, like more advanced. So he ends up working with our Danielle Oliva, who is a robot. And some people do not like the fact that Danielle is in New York because he's not human. And people of New York and the world, people living in the bubbles, they do not like robots. They do have some, but they're less advanced. And there's a whole chapter about a whole debate on, is Daniel actually a robot, or is he human pretending to be a robot, or he's a robot pretending to be human, and it's a whole thing. And then, is he the murderer or not? That chapter was really good and kind of confusing at the same time. But yeah, and you get to a little bit more of who they are and who did it and stuff, and then you basically discover how people live outside those bubbles, and it's just really cool. It was really good. So yes, this is a 5-star. Or I did give it 4 stars apparently. I don't remember why, but there's maybe, yeah. I did love it. It was really good. So it's a 4-star, but I think it's a 5, honestly. So 5-star. The next book today that I read, it's the one before last, which is, yes, I did, yeah, the one before last. I read Ben Archer and the Alien Skill, Book 2 by Ray Knightley. Since this is a sequel, I can't really say much about the story, but you follow this character Ben, who, in the first book, he has encountered something the night of the Cosmic Fall, and the Cosmic Fall is basically what people try to, they say is a meteor that hit the Earth. But Ben knows it's not. And government wants him for things that happened. So, book 2, you follow Ben as he has to move to another town because something happened in the previous book. And yeah, it's really, really good. And I can't give much more details, but he also has a dog, his dog Tyke. And in the last chapter, something happens to Tyke, and you're like, oh my gosh, is he okay? Is the dog okay? Which I do not know because I did not read the last, the snippet for the next book, which is the Moon Paradox. I did not read it because I don't want to read it right away because I'm waiting to get to the third book. So, yeah, but this was really, really good. It was pitched as my favorite series, so, which is right there. So obviously I had to jump on this as soon as I got it. As soon as I heard that. So it's really good. I love this book. So 5-star, definitely. It's also faster paced than the first one, I feel like. I've read this in less than a week, and the first one took me like a month. So, yeah, it's so good. 5-star, definitely 5-star. And then that last book that I have read is, I'm just gonna go into my documents because it's gonna be easier. It was The Answer by K.A. Applegate, which is book 53 in her Animorph series. This one you follow Jake as the main, main 5. There are 5 people, right? Yeah, there's 5 of them. Okay. I wasn't sure anymore. And clearly, since this is the one before the penultimate book in the series, it just gets very intense, and I'm dreading the ending because I accidentally spoiled myself. I was looking online the other day for a specific thing about one of the characters, and then I read deceased, and I'm like, what? No, how? Um, so yeah, he is deceased. And I'm kind of dreading that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the ending of where he dies. Um, Also, there's another character. I don't really care about her, so she can die if she wants to because I know she does. um, I know 3 people are gonna die in the third book and the last book, and I just don't wanna. I don't wanna have see that anyway. I don't want to read it. So I'm dreading it. But yeah, it was still really good and interesting, and I know my friends think this covers are ugly, and they are. They're weird. Um, but yeah, it was really good. I do enjoy that book. Um, yeah, it was really good. And obviously, these books used to be more funny, but as time goes by through a series, the situation that the kids are in, it gets even worse. So it's not as funny anymore. But that's just how it is. Um, and also, that series is taking place in like a span of 2 years because the main character Jake mentions that the series has started when they were 13 and he was now 16. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like time flies and this is nuts. Um, so yeah, I still have the last book to read. And I'm not I'm not ready for this. I am not ready for this. I mean, yeah, I love those books and I just can't, because they're so good. And then I also DNF'd one book, and it's 3 books in one. Um, so it is The Cat Who. I did read. Well, I hadn't finished it a few months ago. I had started The Cat Who Ate a Danish Modern. I hadn't finished it, so I ended up finishing it this month. It was okay. Um, 3 stars because it was just okay. I really have a hard time getting into these books. Um, but it wasn't bad. Uh, so yeah, I did read that one. Um, and then I started The Cat Who Could Turn On and Off, and it was just getting weird. I couldn't get into the story. It was confusing. So many characters, and I did not finish it. So that one I cannot rate it. But it was the first book in that like 3 books that I had. So The Cat Who Could Read Backwards and The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern were fun books. So yeah. So 3 stars for the Danish Modern one. So yeah, these are all the books that I have read this month, and I guess now I'll go read and finish this one because I need to finish it. And I might for last week also listen to the audiobook for Anne of Green Gables, trying to go back into rereading that series because I just really love them. So yeah, that's what I'll do and see how it goes. Also, while I was putting back the books into my shelves, I realized that there's one book that I haven't mentioned that I also DNF'd this month. I don't know, I just couldn't get into the stories because yeah, I don't know why. But it was also Chronicles of Avonlea, so by Lil Simone Montgomery. Um, yeah, these are a bunch of short stories. So it's a novella of a bunch of stories. And I just couldn't get into it for some reason. So, yeah, I did not like that one. So, I DNF'd it. But yeah, so these are all the books that I have read and DNF'd.